Okay, little virtual tour of the 1930 Ford Roadster for you. It's got some bugs on it right now because it just enjoyed a weekend at the Nationals here in Syracuse. But you might as well see it as bad as it gets instead of shining it up for you. 32 steel shell, non-original reproduction. Really nice pinstriping done by scratch. It's got a chrome drilled front axle, stainless shackles, standard black steel spring, chrome crosslink tie rod, chrome drilled wishbones split, stainless lake style headers, 331 Chrysler Hemi, chromed valve covers, fully rebuilt all 8 Stromberg 97s. 6 or 7 of them are large logo, and the other couple are small logo, but they're definitely 97s. As with all Strombergs, if they're hooked up and working, then you get a little bit of leakage. I spray them with a little brake clean once every 8 or 10 times I drive it, and that stuff goes right away. If you let it sit too long, it will stain. That stuff on the intake will come right off with some brake clean. Simple spray it, hose it down. GM water pump conversion by Hotheads. GM alternator conversion, Hotheads. It's got a Hotheads finned valley pan. GM distributor conversion with a Mallory dual point. Mallory coil. Eddie Meyer fuel block. Moon fuel pressure gauge. And a fuel pressure regulator. Down there. Steel body. It was a 1930 Ford Coupe. As you can see, the paint shines. It's not perfect. It's pretty nice. Firewall was set back just a touch. We finished with steel the outer lip, where normally a hood would mount. And they cut the coupe roof off and put Roadster stanchions on it. That was my for sale listing at the Syracuse Nationals. And there's my phone number if you want to give me a call. Cut the coupe doors off at the top. Finished them pretty nice. A few paint chips here and there. It's about as bad as it gets. It's a little dull on top of the door tops where you rest your arms. I'm sure it would buff right up. I never tried. Doors open and close nice. Interior panels, red vinyl, naugahyde, whatever they call it. It's a sewn tucked pattern. Door handles pull to release. Sill plates, carpet. I believe that was meant to be an emergency brake, but it does not work. I've never even looked underneath it to see if the cables are there to make it work. I know that when you move it, the car doesn't stop, so it does not work. Low car shifter on a Turbo 350 tranny. Little skull shift knob. It's got 4 vintage Stewart Warner gauges in it that were probably hooked up at one point. One's a vacuum, an oil temp, a fuel pressure, and a manifold pressure. Those 4 are not hooked up. There is a 6-piece Stewart Warner winged gauge set. They are all hooked up. Lights are hooked up to them. Fuel gauge does not work. There's no sending unit in the tank. If you put a sending unit in it and ran some wires up, you'd have a fuel gauge. I never did it. I just check it every time I drive it. The stanchions have winged bolts like any Roadster does. The bottom ones, the tabs are broke off them. I have a new set I'll throw in with the car. I haven't changed them. Things like that don't usually bother me. They do bother some people, so again, I do have them. I'll throw them in with the car. Not likely that I will get a chance to change them. Interior wraps around pretty nice. Top that I just had made will snap to these snaps. Some more scratch pinstriping. Apparently they planned on having a gas filler door here that would fill the tank. It does not. There is a cap on the tank in the trunk, but this is not tied to it. Some chips around the corner of the deck lid and the paint. That's a real close-up of those chips from a little bit of a distance away from the car. Say here, you don't even notice stuff like that. The car's gorgeous. Cruising by, sitting in the driveway, parked at the curbside. You never see any of that. But up close, they're there. Little nicks, minor little nicks in the paint. I gotta get right up on top of this one for you to see it. But it's there. Front wheels are Raider, all aluminum reproductions. Buick finned, 45 fin drums on F1 brakes. Coker Classic 560/15 front tires, wide white wall. Rears are original Raiders, steel outers, aluminum inners, made by Mickey Thompson, 4 Raider. Rear tires are Raider 820/15 slicks. Wheels are worth probably $1,200 to $1,500 a pair by themselves. The reproductions are about $600 a pair, so you could put all aluminums on it, sell these, get your money back, and buy a set of street tires if you wanted to. 39 Ford tail lights. Some chips around the deck lid where it meets. They've been touched up. Again, this car is a driver. It's nice. It's not perfect. There's a chip in the paint there. Pinstriping on the back. Again, another piece by scratch. Absolutely gorgeous. Big pinstriping. And there's his SIG. He did it in Texas. New deck lid handle. Plate and plate frame do not go with the car. I made that for my Ham Alliance tag, and I transfer it from hot rod to hot rod. It just bolts to the underside of the roll pan. Pretty easy to put any plate frame on it. No license plate light. Supposed to have that here, but I don't. Again, another chip around the deck lid, been touched up. Inside of the deck lid's a mess. I just spent a weekend at the Nationals, so it's kind of dirty, but battery box, fuel tank, carpeted. Carpet runs right up to the edges. It's got weather strip around the edges. Vinyl lined the inside of the deck lid. Put a little bar in there to hold the deck lid open, so you don't have to stand there with it held open. Wheels and tires on the other side. Interior shots. Seat folds forward. There's a little tab here. Store stuff behind it. Again, just got back from a weekend at a car show, so there's stuff stuffed in there. The top will mount on 2 cam buckle style straps behind the seat. They'll be completely hidden. All you'll see is 2 pieces of nylon webbing attached to the top here. The clips will be behind the seat. There will be 1 snap here attached to the top, and it will run to the windshield stanchion right here. It'll sandwich the top of the window, set here, and have a set screw. I welded a nut to the inside of the